As we get older, we become more mindful about the food we eat and how we store it. After all, food safety and nutrition are deeply connected to our health, especially for seniors. But here's something shocking most people don't realize. Some of the foods you've been keeping in your refrigerator for years might actually be losing their nutrients, spoiling faster, or even becoming harmful because of the cold. Yes, that's right. There are certain foods that should never be refrigerated, and yet millions of people do it every single day without realizing the consequences. I'm Dr. Nancy Weller, and today I want to tell you about the 9 common foods that many seniors unknowingly store in their refrigerators, thinking it keeps them fresh, when in fact it's doing the exact opposite. These mistakes can cost you flavor, nutrients, and even digestive comfort. But don't worry, I'll also tell you the right way to store them so you can keep your food healthy and safe. Let's start with something nearly everyone has in their fridge right now: tomatoes. It seems natural to put them there to make them last longer, but refrigeration actually destroys their texture and taste. When tomatoes get too cold, the low temperature breaks down the natural enzymes that make them juicy and flavorful. Instead of ripening naturally, they go mealy, mushy, and lose their signature sweetness. For seniors who love tomatoes in salads or soups, this means missing out on vital nutrients like lycopene, which supports heart health and fights inflammation. The best way to store them is on the counter, at room temperature, away from direct sunlight, where they'll ripen naturally and retain their full flavor. Next up, we have potatoes. One of the most commonly refrigerated foods, but one of the biggest mistakes. When you refrigerate potatoes, the cold temperature converts their natural starches into sugar. This not only changes their taste, but also affects their nutritional value. When these cold sugars are later cooked, especially fried or roasted, they can form acrylamide, a compound that's potentially harmful to the nervous system. For seniors who may already be dealing with nerve sensitivity or chronic pain, this is something to avoid completely. Potatoes should always be stored in a cool, dark place, like a pantry, not in the fridge. Another one many people don't think twice about is onions. Onions need air circulation to stay fresh, but when you refrigerate them, the moisture trapped in the fridge causes them to become soft, moldy, or even slimy. And here's something most people never consider. Onions absorb moisture and odors from nearby foods, which can give them a strange, off-putting taste. That's why your onion soup sometimes tastes like last night's leftovers. Keep your onions in a ventilated basket or mesh bag, away from direct light. If you've already cut an onion, it's fine to refrigerate it for a day or two, but keep it sealed tightly to prevent it from absorbing fridge odors. Garlic is another food that should never be refrigerated. Many people believe it'll keep longer in the cold, but the opposite is true. Garlic thrives in a dry, well-ventilated place. The fridge's moisture causes it to sprout and become rubbery, losing its potent flavor and its natural antibacterial properties. Garlic has powerful compounds like allicin, which can boost your immune system and support heart health, 2 things that become even more important as we age. But when it's refrigerated, allicin begins to break down, reducing those health benefits. Keep garlic in a small basket or a paper bag at room temperature, and it'll stay fresh for weeks. Now let's talk about something sweet: honey. You might think keeping honey cold will prevent it from spoiling, but honey doesn't need refrigeration at all. In fact, honey is naturally antibacterial and can last for years without spoiling if stored properly. When you refrigerate it, the cold causes it to crystallize and harden, making it almost impossible to scoop or spread. Worse, chilling it can cause some of its natural enzymes and antioxidants to degrade over time, which takes away from its healing properties. Keep honey tightly sealed at room temperature in a dark cupboard and it will stay smooth, golden, and full of nutrients. Coffee is another big surprise for many people. Whether it's beans or ground coffee, putting it in the fridge is one of the worst things you can do. Coffee easily absorbs moisture and odors from other foods, ruining its flavor. If you've ever brewed coffee that tasted dull or strange, this might be why. The fridge also causes condensation to form inside the container, which speeds up staleness. For seniors who depend on that morning cup of coffee for energy, flavor matters, and so does freshness. The best way to store coffee is in an airtight container, away from light, heat, and moisture. Let's not forget about bread. Many seniors refrigerate bread, thinking it'll prevent mold, but the cold actually causes the starch in bread to harden much faster. This process, known as retrogradation, makes bread go stale long before it molds. If you want to keep bread fresh for more than a few days, freezing it is a much better option than refrigerating. Just slice it first, store it in a freezer bag, and toast the slices as you need them. Bread kept at room temperature in a bread box or tightly sealed bag will stay soft and fresh for several days. Another one that surprises almost everyone is olive oil. When stored in the fridge, olive oil solidifies and turns cloudy. This doesn't make it unsafe to eat, but it ruins its texture and can cause it to lose some of its healthy fats over time. Olive oil is best kept in a cool, dark cupboard, not near the stove, and definitely not in the fridge. This ensures it stays liquid, smooth, and packed with its natural antioxidants that support heart and brain health. Finally, let's talk about bananas. Most people pop them in the fridge as soon as they start to ripen, thinking it'll slow the process, but cold temperatures actually damage the fruit. The skin may turn black and the fruit inside loses flavor and texture. Bananas are tropical fruits. They were never meant to be stored in cold temperatures. Keep them on the counter until they ripen. Then, if you must preserve them longer, peel and freeze them for smoothies or baking. Now, you might be wondering, why does this matter so much for seniors? Because as we age, our digestive systems become more sensitive, our nutrient absorption slows down, and our immune systems aren't as strong as they used to be. Eating foods that have lost their nutrients or developed unhealthy compounds can increase inflammation, cause digestive upset, or simply rob your body of the nutrition it needs to stay strong. Even small daily habits, like how we store food, can make a big difference in long-term health. For example, when you refrigerate foods like tomatoes, onions, or garlic, you're not just changing the flavor, you're altering the chemistry that makes them healthy in the first place. Refrigeration slows enzyme activity, and in some cases, it destroys beneficial compounds that help fight inflammation and disease. On the other hand, when you store these foods correctly at room temperature, they continue to ripen naturally and retain the very antioxidants and vitamins that help protect your body from aging-related conditions. If you've been refrigerating these foods for years, don't worry, you're not alone. Most of us were taught to put everything fresh in the fridge, believing it's safer. But now that you know the truth, you can make small, simple changes that will dramatically improve the quality of your food and your health. Start today. Take your tomatoes, onions, garlic, honey, potatoes, and bread out of the fridge and store them where they belong. You'll be amazed at how much better they taste and how much better you feel when your food is truly fresh and alive. Remember, healthy aging isn't just about the foods you eat. It's also about how you care for them. By avoiding these common refrigeration mistakes, you'll preserve the flavor, texture, and nutrients your body needs to stay strong, energetic, and healthy. So the next time you open your refrigerator, take a moment to check, are there foods in there that shouldn't be? If so, now you know exactly what to do.